Hello everybody and welcome back to the Realm of Vasten. Oh man, we're still here in the end. Look at all the stuff I've been doing. I'm gonna get back to this. In a little bit. But first I gotta head over to Port Bray because we've had some problems and I thought we could just jump in and talk about it. So listen, if you're a big fan of the lore bits of the episode, that's gonna be coming later. I'm not doing that in the beginning of today's episode. We're gonna jam it in either in the middle or the end, depending on how things go. But so what's been going on is we have had, since this server's been around for a long time and gone through a bunch of updates. I think this was a 1.11 originally server, so we're like 3 major updates down the road and a bunch of decimal point updates. Yeah, we're encountering some issues, and one of the big issues that we've been having is that Port Bray, our capital city, our hub, our giant travel hub, the place where you have to go through this place right here to get essentially anything, has corrupted chunks. Oh boy, those words hurt. They hurt coming out. But yeah, Port Bray has some corrupted chunks, and quite a few, something like 18 or 20 corrupted chunks. I've been meaning to get rid of these too, actually. Anyway, yeah, there's some real issues there, and we've been discussing on what to do about it and tried a bunch of different things in Silentcraft, the old mod from Vasten Dimensions and now a current player in the Realm of Vasten, figure out a way to fix it, basically using a combination of World Edit and something called like World Atlas or something like that. I don't know. This is above my pay grade. I don't know how exactly he fixed it, but fixed it is, but not yet. So this is still the current Port Bray. You can see how, excuse me. You can see how things still aren't loading in, and it's a real problem. Now we had been trying to track down where all this lag is coming from, because the problem is once Port Bray is loaded, the server then lags until it's unloaded, and even sometimes after that, it's a real issue. TBS is like single digits if you know what that's all about. So we didn't know if it was because of the redstone going on the Call of Kinship or what, and it turns out maybe it was just due to the lighting updates of 1.14.2. Who knows? We don't know what caused it, but caused it is. So Sai figured out a way to basically copy all of Port Bray over into another to make a copy of it, essentially. Now, everything's copied, all the items, all the blocks are copied, except for all the items in chests. So those all need to be taken out of Port Bray before we overwrite the region files. Now, we're not going to change anything that's already built. We're going to try to attempt in every way to make it back to how it was before. But here's where we go. All the storage, all of it, all of the storage, all this storage, everything has to go. So I don't know where we're at as far. It looks like all this is already gone. Oh nope, not all that. Well, let's start with this. Let's start with the cobblestone. Yeah. So just like that. That's a trip. Okay. Now I mean that's a lot of stuff. I mean I could do this with like mules or something if I wanted to, but honestly, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Okay. So all this stuff has got to go. So we're gonna take it to the end, and what I'm hoping to do is set my spawn here. That would be ideal. It'd be real if I set my spawn here, and we're not going to keep in the end forever. The plan is still to utilize the Hall of Kinship. In fact, actually, you know what I want to do? I want to grab one of these ender chests. I'll just take a random one from way down the road here, and I'll put it back. I promise. I probably won't forget. But okay. One of these in there. I think that's still okay. Okay. Is that still in there? No, that's gone. Now where'd it go? Does it go in here? Oh yeah, look at this. This has stuff in it. Well, these all have to go anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, all this is going to remain here. We're going to keep this as a storage. We had contemplated if things go horribly or wrong, maybe the best thing to do would be relocate storage to the end in a really simple manual storage situation. But I don't think that we necessarily need to. We think we've tracked down the problem to actually corrupted chunks and not the redstone. So we're going to go with that for now. And if it's still a problem, then down the road we can relocate storage to like I just suggested the end. Because you can get to the end from any church at the end, so it makes it a really convenient place, and we could write lore around it easily, like writing lore around that the elves have a bunch of stuff. That's certainly not hard to work out. So So the plan is going to be take all of this stuff at the end, trip after trip after trip after trip. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of that stuff. We're going to leave it at the end island, and then we'll come back, and I want to show you some of the green landscaping. That's right. I'm adding green to the end island here. Finally, it's going to look. I think it's going to look really cool. I think it already starts to look cool, but I'm looking forward to showing you. So after we get this all transported over, then we'll do that. But you know what we should do right now? Why don't we hit the lore bit? Why don't you listen to this little bit of lore, little bitty bit of lore, and I'll see you on the other side. The elf king of Virio followed the large Enderman out of his palace. His head spinning, he had just cast the forbidden blight. His armies overrun, the blight was his last chance to sacrifice all the remaining elves, himself included, to wipe out the zombie pigmen. And yet, here he stood, his castle intact, and seemed to be floating in a void. The Enderman he followed stopped at a cliff wall. King Virio watched as he silently commanded some of the smaller Endermen to somehow pick up stone. It was such an odd sight. The Enderman simply picked up stone boulders, creating a hole in the cliff, and inside that hole, the king could see nothing but darkness. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the little bit of a lore thing. I'm still working on the bugs on this, but I think this is gonna be a really nice way to go about it. And I want to come in here and talk a little bit about what I've been doing with this, because this is going to be something that's going to be very difficult to do on camera. So here, I hope you like it. Here's the thing: we have purple grass in the texture pack. I love it. It's so great. It's so alien and cool looking. But it doesn't necessarily work over here, because this area was ripped from the overworld. That area over there was sort of made here with Enderium, transmutating blocks, and all that kind of stuff. But so over here, I'm trying to choose a combination of the same thing. This was concrete powder and inadvertently got wet, but it looked kind of cool, so we're going to keep the green shingle look here. But yeah, the palette is green terracotta, green wool, oops, that's my next project, green concrete powder, and dirt, and then with the addition of spruce leaves just everywhere to kind of fill it in. And then for right now, the first phase of the cliff building is just going to be cobble and andesite, and that's it. And then and also dirt and spruce leaves too. But I may come in later and add something else if that's not enough, because I've never done this before. I've never actually really built cliffs before in Minecraft, and so I'm kind of getting the hang of and trying some different things. I think we're getting there. Now, what I'd like to do is come up here and add some walls and slabs and stairs, but I think that's probably going to be phase 2. I think it's probably going to be best for me to sort of do this in phases. So the first phase is going to be, I'm going to do this, which I've already done. Actually, let's fly, since we have wings for the moment. Let's fly around here. I'll show you. I've already done the whole way around this little area. I think it turned out pretty nicely. And you see, I left some of the areas blank here, but I tried to do the little overhang. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, I tried to always put grass or danglies here on the outside, just to make it look like grass is almost falling off the edge, and like occasionally maybe some just falls off into the void. I thought that was a really cool look, and something I want to go with. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I need to do the roads, because I have to do the roads next, because I want the grass to come up right up next to it. And it's going to make a lot of sense to have the roads the next thing we put in. So these roads, only right here, these roads are going to go actually down one block. So I'm going to need to cut in. Once we get up to about here, the roads will probably just go on top. And I thought about it. I thought about doing this pattern. I thought about doing different hodgepodges of the aqua prismarine. I forget what that's called. And the purple. But I think I'm going to go with diorite instead. I've kind of gone back and forth. I think diorite's going to be the right move, because the palace itself is going to be a combination of granite and red sand. That's going to be the palette I'm going to use up there for the elven look. So I think that the white is going to really pop with the leaves that are leaves, with the ground that's all different shades of green, and the red sort of tinge that we have up there. I think it's going to be cool. And we may come with some quartz or bone block, or just even another texture. But for right now, I think we're gonna do this road the whole way up and the whole way down. So what do you say? You wanna do a time lapse? Let's do this in a time lapse, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, the roads are done. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, obviously there's a lot of work, man, so much work to do. I have a plan for in here now. I've kind of finally worked it out, and you may know what's coming to here if you pay attention to the lore bit, because that is, I think, what we're going to focus on for where the Endermen meet the elves. I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to go right through there, but obviously there's so much landscaping to do here. But I think I'm getting to the point where I need to probably lay out where the buildings are going to be. That way I don't have to redo the landscaping. Like this landscaping I've done so far, it's like so thin from the edge of the cliff out to the edge that there's probably not going to be a building here. There's probably just going to be sort of border. So I don't think that I'm going to have to redo it, which is great. I don't want to redo it. But if I go any further, like take up here, for example, if I go up here and if I do all this landscaping, there's a really good chance, like a 99% chance that there's going to be a building on top of it. So that means I'm wasting materials, which are not totally easy to come by, some of them, and wasting time, you know? So I think that the next best thing for me to probably do is to wrap up this little landscaping episode. I worked a little bit in the pond. There's some more I got to do over here. It's some stuff. Juxie must have just come over here to check it out. Yeah, I think the next thing that we're going to do is probably start laying out where it's going to go, you know, and maybe the palette and stuff. But to do that, I need to go to the banking clan and just get a ton of red sand and granite, because that's going to be the palette for the palace. So, oh, good, more resource collecting. Yeah, but I think we're at the point where we're going to start building. Don't click my left mouse just to point stuff out. I'm going to hit an Enderman. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today. I think if you're enjoying this this little project, please let me know. It's fun. It's really fun to do, sort of break away and do kind of my own thing, you know, personal base project, and yeah, it's really fun. So I will see you all next episode. Oh, hey, Jux, how's it going? Look at that. I'm recording and there's Juxie just behind me. All right, I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Love y'all. Leave a like. Darn it. Okay, bye, everybody.